The Unknown Citizens by Winston Hugh Auden. The Unknown Citizen to JS/07M378. This marble monument is erected by the state. He was found by the Bureau of Statistics to be one against whom there was no official complaint, and all the reports on his conduct agree that, in the modern sense of an old-fashioned word, he was a saint. Auden begins the poem stating an inscription on a tomb of an unknown government servant to JS/07M378. This monument is erected by the state. The government had erected the tomb commemorating an unknown, faceless, nameless government worker for his exceptional service and good conduct as a government bureaucrat. He is known by the number. The Bureau of Statistics, a government organization that is investigating the character and conduct of citizens secretly, had found him to be without fault. There was no official complaints against him in his entire service. The reports compiled by the department on his character and conduct prove that he was spotless in his entire career as a government official. He could be regarded as a saint, not because he sought salvation, but because he served the government perfectly. For in everything he did, he served the greater community, except for the war till the day he retired. He worked in a factory and never got fired, but satisfied his employers, Fudge Motor Inc. This government official selflessly served the greater community, his employers, higher officials, and in general the government. He was very punctual and had never been absent from the duty without reason except during the war. He had served in the army to defend his country like any other patriotic citizen of a country. This government official worked in an automobile factory named Fudge Motor Inc. Yet he wasn't a scab or odd in his views. For his union reports that he paid his dues. Our report on his union shows it was sound, and our social psychology workers found that he was popular with his mates and liked a drink. The government official maintained the standards expected of him by the authorities. He was not a scab, a worker who refuses to join a labor union. He worked hard and did not break any rules. He did not have any odd views against the government. The reports compiled by the Union of Labor shows that he was always prompt in paying his union membership fees. The social psychology workers who investigate and study and keep track of the public behavior of citizens found that he was popular, well liked by his friends. He also liked an occasional drink. He was a normal, law-abiding citizen. The press are convinced that he bought a paper every day and his reactions to advertisements were normal in every way. Policies taken out in his name prove that he was fully insured, and his health card shows he was once in hospital but left it cured. The dead government official had bought a newspaper each day, that is, he read the propaganda published by the press media, which was biased, and had no adverse reaction to the advertisements in newspaper. He was in good health and did not have any life-threatening diseases. He was once admitted to a hospital, but he left the hospital after recovering from the disease. Both Producers Research and High Grade Living declare he was fully sensible to the advantages of the installment plan, and he had everything necessary to the modern man: a phonograph, a radio, a car, and frigidaire. This dead citizen was sensible, as reported by the Producers Research and High Grade Living, another consumer research wing of the government. He availed the full advantage of the installment plan to buy everything necessary to the modern man. He owned a phonograph, that is music player, a radio and refrigerator, which proved that his standard of living was high. He had everything a modern man needed at home. Our researchers into public opinion are content that he held the proper opinions for the time of the year. When there was peace, he was for peace. When there was war, he went. The government researchers' investigation into the dead official's public opinion was found to be faultless. He wasn't a critical thinker, but a perfect citizen. He expressed proper opinion according to the occasions. He supported peace in peacetime and fight the enemies of the motherland during wars. He was married and added 5 children to the population, which our eugenist says was the right number of a parent of his generations. And our teachers report that he never interfered with their education. The dead public servant was married and had the appropriate number of 5 children. According to the eugenists, they practice the controlled selective breeding of human populations to improve the population's genetic composition. He never interfered with the education of his children, which tells that he trusted the government for the appropriate education to his children. Was he free? Was he happy? The question is absurd. Had anything been wrong, we should certainly have heard. Here the speaker poses questions. Was he free? Was he happy? The speaker is showing an inappropriate humor. It is absurd to ask such a question when a man is already dead. Now, it does not matter whether he was free or happy. Even the State Bureau of Statistics does not know anything about these two immeasurable qualities, freedom and happiness. The speaker knows that those in power have put in place all that is necessary to the citizen through propaganda and more effective penalty. The poem is a satirical and disturbing comment on a totalitarian government.